Dear Reiki friends, dear Reiki practitioners, welcome. My name is Olaf Böhm, and this is my very first speech on a very significant point on Usui Reiki Ryoho history. So, please enjoy. A historical perspective on Usui Mikao sensei's experience on Mount Kurama. In this lecture, on the occasion of the centenary of the birth of Usui Mikao sensei's Reiki therapy, Usui Reiki Ryoho, I would like to take a closer look with you at his spiritual awakening and the place where it happened on Kurama Yama. Yama means mountain. Thanks to the memorial stone to Usui sensei, which was erected 1927 at his gravesite at Saihoji Temple in Tokyo, by his disciples a year after his transition, it is known that Usui sensei experienced his spiritual awakening on Mount Kurama after a period of fasting and meditation. He realized, I am the universe is me. He wanted to share his spiritual awakening with the people, upon which he developed his Reiki therapy. Thanks to some old postcards distributed around 1915, we can get a glimpse of some places on Mount Kurama about 100 years ago. Around the time when Usui sensei went there in March 1922 to fast and meditate. Mount Kurama is located about 12 kilometers north of Kyoto and is about 570 meters high. Since 1916, it is possible to take a train from Demajanagi Station in Kyoto directly to Kurama village at the foot of the mountain. From there, a pilgrimage trail begins via a grand staircase and through the Mio Gate, which leads up the mountain to the main Buddhist temple Kurama Dera. Dera means temple. The Kurama Dera was built in the year 770 Anno Domini. It serves as the protective temple of the north of the old capital city Heian-ko, which was renamed in 1868 to Kyoto, when the imperial seat was moved to the new-founded capital, Tokyo. The buildings were regularly destroyed by fire. The main hall was last rebuilt in 1971. During Usui sensei's lifetime, the Kurama Dera was affiliated with the Tendai Buddhism. In 1949, the newly formed Buddhist group Kurama Kokyo, the Far Teaching at Kurama, moved in on the mountain. They developed a new interpretation of Buddhism at Mount Kurama. The mountain is a very strong power place with a long history. There are many spiritual beings living here called Tengus. Tengu translates to heavenly dog or heavenly garden. They inhabit and protect the forests and mountains of Japan. They are also considered as demons and also bear similarities to the Buddhist figure Garuda. Mount Kurama is also home to the mystical being Soyobo. This name is translated as High Buddhist Priest. He is a long-experienced Yamabushi, a mountain priest. Soyobo is a Dai Tengu, the lord of the Tengus who are living on Mount Kurama. He has a human form, red skin, white hair, and a very unnatural big nose. He is known for his teachings of the samurai warrior Minamoto Yoshitsune, who lived between 1159 till 1189. He instructed Yoshitsune in swordsmanship, tactics, and magic. Yoshitsune was sent to Kurama Dera at the age of 7 to become a monk. His clan was almost completely destroyed during the Heiji rebellion around 1160. After Yoshitsune learned about his family history while growing up, he wanted to take revenge for his clan, and it is said that thanks to the training at Mount Kurama he killed over 100 samurai at Gojo Bridge in Kyoto. Kurama has two special events that are celebrated every year. On October 22, the Kurama no Himatsuri, the fire festival, is held in Kurama village, with huge fire torches being carried through the village. On the full moon in May, the Wesak festival is celebrated in honor of the enlightenment and birthday of the historical Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama. The mandala on the forecourt of the main hall of the Kurama Dera is decorated then with candles by the visitors. The crowd of visitors is always very high on these days. To the left of the main hall of the Kurama Dera, a small path leads further up the mountain. On the saddle of the mountain, you can reach the place Osogigongen via a forest pathway overgrown with roots. For many Reiki practitioners, Usui Gongen represents the place where Usui Sensei experienced his spiritual awakening at that time. And at the same time, it can also be considered the birthplace of his Reiki therapy. This place is also an integral part of every Reiki pilgrimage to Japan. It is an ancient place of power that has probably changed several times due to nature. During Usui Sensei's lifetime, a very large sacred tree stood there, which was destroyed by a typhoon in the 1950s. The remains of the tree trunk formed the shape of a dolphin. These remains continue to be revered and protected. A hut for praying and meditating was also built there. It is also a popular picnic spot in the Kansai region for a day trip. In the fall of 2018, the place was again changed by a typhoon. The shrine and some prominent trees disappeared. Thus yet another new stage begins for this place of power. Usui Sensei did not live in great wealth, and it was probably not easy for him to support his wife and 2 children with changing professions. When he was in his mid-50s, he probably asked himself about the meaning of life. It is said that he was a very well-read person. He dealt with many spiritual, philosophical, and also psychological methods and concepts on his way through life. He began to study Zazen, sitting meditation, in a monastery near Kyoto for about 3 years, in addition to his professional activities. In the teachings there, he may have learned about the spiritual state of mind, Anshin Ritsume, the peaceful mind. Anshin Ritsume is a mental state of unshakable inner peace and supreme happiness. In other words, Satori, enlightenment. He probably went regularly to the Buddhist teachings, where he meditated under the guidance of an abbot. He tried to train his mind to attain the longed-for spiritual state of enlightenment. Since Usui Sensei was having difficulties advancing his mind, he probably asked the abbot after some time what he could do to attain Anshin Ritsume. The abbot then advised to him, "Go and die," in the sense of going into asceticism so that the utmost human strength is demanded of mind and body in order to be able to concentrate on a goal and achieve enlightenment on this path, as many other seekers in different cultures did before him. Following this advice, Usui Sensei went to Mount Kurama in March 1922 to practice fasting meditation in absolute asceticism. Whether the temple community at Mount Kurama offered a guided fasting meditation in that time is not known. Usui Sensei began his ascetic meditation without eating at the place Usui Gongen. There has always been a place of meditation and training. It is said that after 3 weeks, just before midnight, he felt a strong Reiki, a universal vibration above his head, and as if by a blow, he lost consciousness. When he regained consciousness, he awoke with a deep, refreshing feeling of all-connectedness. He had never felt such a sense of being so full of energy before. He felt that his innermost being was equally connected to the earth and the universe. A state of absolute harmony within him and the outer world. He experienced the feeling of being one. He finally attained the longed-for peaceful mind, Anshin Ritsume. Usui Sensei mentioned about his spiritual experience on Mount Kurama. "I am the universe is me." It is conveyed in some Reiki schools that a monk friend of Usui Sensei confirmed his experience of enlightenment and told him, "This is a part of enlightenment. Save this world with your enlightenment." Usui Sensei descended after his spiritual awakening on Mount Kurama. He wanted to go down to the river or an inn to drink water. On the way down, he stumbled and injured his toe. Of course, he reflexively grabbed the aching spot on his foot. To his amazement, the pain immediately disappeared by his touch. He was able to descend from the mountain without further discomfort. When he arrived in the village, he wanted to have his first tea and possibly his first light meal at a tea house. The daughter of the tea house owner, who was hosting him, had a severe toothache. Usui Sensei noticed this and asked to be allowed to touch her. She agreed, and he touched the young woman on her cheek, and her toothache immediately disappeared. There, he experienced for the second time how the Reiki vibration he was in had an effect on others. Therapeutic fasting combined with meditation was one of many methods used in Usui Sensei's time to purify the mind and body and bring them together in harmonious alignment. Another spiritual healer who was known even before Usui Sensei was Tanaka Morihei. Thanks to his publications, one gets a wide insight into his method, Tai-Re-Do. It has nothing to do with Usui Sensei's Reiki therapy, Reiki Ryoho. However, some similarities can be found in the application techniques. Tanaka Sensei also pursued fasting meditation and attained spiritual awakening after 4 months of asceticism. He then developed his method Tai-Re-Do, the way of the Great Spirit. He offered fasting with meditation as a permanent course program to his students. In one of the pictures from Tanaka Sensei's dojo, some students are sitting in front of it, going through a fasting meditation. As well as in the natural religion of Shugendo, the way of miraculous powers, the mountain priests, the Yamabushis, practiced fasting and also meditation under a cold waterfall, whereby the meditator placed himself under a streaming waterfall and let cold mountain water flow down on his crown chakra. This can be very painful. The aim was to train the mind to remain calm and serene. To give another helpful insight into what Usui Sensei experienced on Mount Kurama after his fasting meditation and also what is in the application of Reiki practiced becomes clear with the help of 2 more Japanese words and kanji. Inamoto Yakuten Sensei gave a very insightful explanation in the video with Phyllis Furumoto, Global Reiki Webinar, The Essential Nature of Reiki Energy. The kanji of Rei and Ki can be both translated in a figurative sense as energy. By adding the kanji ten, heaven, and the kanji rei, spiritual energy, these 2 words become ten rei, the spiritual energy of heaven. If you add the kanji chi, earth, to the kanji ki, energy, these 2 words become the energy of the earth, shiki. So, ten rei, shiki, energies of the heaven, energies of the earth. We humans are very strongly connected to the earth, especially since we walk on it with our feet through life. Thus, we are in strong resonance with the earth energy. By applying Reiki, we are reminded again that we are also connected to the energy of the universe. When we become aware in the moment of here and now that we are the link between heaven and earth, we create in our mind a vibration of harmony that immediately resonates with the universe and can be also felt in our surrounding environment. Tenrei Shiki, energy of the heaven, energy of the earth, is a wonderful epitome of the spiritual state of oneness that Usui Sensei attained on Mount Kurama, and what a Reiki practitioner should realize and focus in his Reiki practice. Usui Sensei wanted to share his spiritual awakening on Mount Kurama with the people, so that it is possible for everyone to experience the peaceful mind. For this purpose, he began to organize Reiki meetings in which meditation and the hand healing, in Japanese Te-Ate Ryoho, were practiced. He also tried to teach the students to lead a happy and a peaceful life by composing the Gokai, the 5 basic principles of Reiki therapy, as a daily spiritual guide. Usui Sensei handed out the Gokai as a small print to his students, as a daily reminder. Also, he created his style of a ritual called Reiju, which was offered in the Reiki meetings. It is serving his students to spiritually attune them to the harmonious resonance with the universe, like he experienced on Mount Kurama. Liat Horowitz from Tel Aviv University will tell you more about this in a moment. We are celebrating this year, 2022, the 100th anniversary of Usui Sensei's Reiki therapy and also his spiritual awakening on Mount Kurama. I feel very honored to speak for the first time to you here on this webinar conference and give a little insight into my research. For this, I want to show my gratitude to Justin Stein for encouraging me to take a little journey back in time with you 100 years ago at Mount Kurama. Thank you, Justin Stein, Hirano Naoko, and Kurita Hidehiko for making this event possible. My wish is that Usui Sensei's legacy of his Reiki therapy, which has helped many people in this world, will still be known and passed on even in 200 years. Dear Reiki friends, I hope you enjoyed my little contribution here. A book will be published by me later this year, where I'm going to share some more insights of my research. Good work needs time. My strong belief is, Reiki connects people. Let's share Reiki with each other. Thank you very much. Happy to be here.